Hi, welcome to Flow to Splits. My name is Izzy. So in this video, blocks isn't optional. So if you have them, let's grab them. And always remember about all the flexibilities training. You don't want to get rushed into it, so you just want to feel free to explore some of those areas and just pause the video. If you feel any discomfort, come out of it. There's no need to rush into any of this. Okay? So when you are ready, let's get started. And today we'll be starting in downward facing dog. We're getting right into it. So place your palms, tuck your toes, and from here, starting to lift the hips up and back. And take a few moments here to connect the breath, the body. You can start with the paddle the heels side to side. The legs doesn't have to go straight right away. So feel free to take your time here. Lift the heels up and down. Keep the spine long, chest opening up. Relax your neck here. Maybe roll it side to side. And then from here, you're gonna bend your knees, lift the heels up high, trying to send the chest, the center of the heart, towards to the ankles. Keep the inner palm pressing down into the mat. Take a deep, big breath. Side out and draw the heels down. Send the energy down through the heels. If the legs are not being straight yet, that's okay, don't worry. Now from here, we're gonna keep the heels together. Bring the heels together. Turn your feet about 45 degrees on each side. And from here, keep the legs straight as much as you can, even though it has to round into the back, and that's okay. We're just gonna trying to squeeze the inner thighs. And from here, you're gonna bend your knees, open up the knees towards to the side, squeeze your glutes, send your hip down towards to the heels. Keep pressing down into the arms, all the palms, and from here, extend. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, get the hip down and low, just to warm up into all the hips, and then come all the way up. Send the heels down, and from here, just shift forward. Step the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale into halfway lift. Now you can bend your knees if you need to. Trying to send the belly towards your chest. To the belly towards your thighs, and from here lean forward like you want to lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Shift forward. Try not to have the space here between your thighs and the belly. You want to bend your knees. If it goes like this, bend the knee, press the belly on the thighs. Now this time, hug your arms around your thighs. Take a deep, big breath. Try to have no gap. If you have to bend in this much, let's bend it. And shift forward. Lean the weight forward. Transfer the weight from the heels to 10 toes. Lift the tailbone up. Relax the shoulders. Relax the neck. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. 2. And try your best to send those thighs to the back. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, now let's bend the knees again, still keeping the arms wrapping around the thighs, and then exhale. Extend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Send the hip down, lift the crown of the head up a bit. Exhale. Inhale 2 more times, squeezing out those inner thighs and the glutes. Exhale. Inhale, last one. Try to get down and low. Exhale. And then drop the hands down. Now your legs are probably warm just like mine. Okay, and from here, we're just going to round the spine, reach the arms up, squeeze your inner thighs, come up, and wrap your tricep towards to your ears, glute down, the arms towards to the ears. Exhale, fold down, bend your knees, come down again. And from here, we're just going to keep the feet separated. The feet should be with the hip distance. We're going to bend the knees, again, trying to place those belly towards your thighs. Keep the back straight and lengthening. Lift your palms up towards your ears. Keep the elbows towards your ears and in line. And from here, take a deep breath in. Squeeze your glutes. Come all the way up. Squeeze up. And exhale. Now we're going to come down halfway, like about 90 degrees. Feel free to bend your knees. Actually, let's bend the knees. Inhale, squeeze, and come up. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. See, am I trying to keep the arms here in line with the ears? Up and down. So this is where we get the hamstring warmed up. Exhale. Just 2 more. Inhale, squeeze them. Exhale. And last time, inhale up, exhale, down, and from here trying to keep the body, the torso about parallel with the mat, about 90 degrees. And from here maybe shift forward, lean forward, still keeping the back long, try not to go and lose the strength in the back. Lift for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now let's bend the knee a little more, bring your palms down, roll your neck side to side. And maybe little shift the hips over to the left and right. You can allow your spine to round a bit here. And now we're going to bend the knees again. This time will be down to up 90 degrees. So you're going to inhale, press all the 10 toes, lift up 90 degrees. Exhale. 1. Try to tap the belly on the thighs. Inhale. Again. Arms in line, palms in line with the ears. Down 2, squeeze your glutes, keep the back straight. 3, inhale, exhale. 4, 5, a little faster. 6, 7, and 8. Okay, from here, drop the hands down. We're gonna step both feet back, shift forward, and then first vinyasa here. You can drop the knee, chest and chin. Squeeze your elbows. Inhale. Cobra Pose. Or draw the shoulders away from the ears. Send your heart forward. And then on the exhale, curl your toes up. Downward facing dog. And from here, press the palms. Now inhale. Lift the right leg up. Bend the knee. Let's open up into the hips here. Now let's keep the right shoulder down a bit. Soften the right shoulder. Squeeze your right glutes. Try to open up into that right front leg, the whole right hip flexor. And from here, you're going to spin and make a circle. You can start from a small one and then get bigger. This will be, we'll do both sides. So this would be the clockwise. Up, 2, 3, try to keep the core engaged. 4, and really engage the glute muscle. 5, okay, now the other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now let's step the right foot forward between your hands. Drop the left knee on the floor. And from here, bring your hands, all the palms, we're going to be, place them on top right here on our waist. Now, when you draw the tailbone down, lift the belly in, lift the tail, draw the tailbone down, lift the pubic bone up, draw the belly in and up, and from here, try to keep the shape of the whole pelvic here. And then from here, we're going to get our hip down and forward, trying to use the back foot to support and shift forward, get down. Now try not to collapse the chest forward. Lift the chest up and back. Use your right heel to push back. Sink the hip down Draw your left hip forward and right hip back. Shift forward and get down. When the chest is about to collapse, again, lift the chest. Squeeze them in. 1. Open up. 2. Lift the chest up and back. Left hip forward and down. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, from here, bring both hands down. Straight the right leg. You can use the block here for the support if you have them. If not, don't worry. You can bend the right knee. And now from here, this is very important. We're gonna trying to keep your left knee underneath the hips, and we're gonna draw the right hip back. So the directions of the right hip would go back, and left hip should be forward. So you want to think about squeezing your inner thighs, flexing your foot. Deep, big breath. Now keep the spine long, lengthening the back. Try not to go with the round one like this. Lift. Press the right heel down. Exhale. Full down. And then inhale. We're going to come up first. Exhale. And just one more time. Exhale. Now, this becomes my favorite one. You're going to bring your left hand on the right shoulder. And then draw your left elbow towards to the right big toes. Keep the back long. Left elbow, right big toe. You can flex the foot. And breathe in here. Doesn't matter if your elbow cannot touch the toes. I couldn't either. So keep lengthening. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now place your hands down. Bend your right leg here. Bring both hands forward. Now we're going to step the left foot. Lift the left leg up and trying your best here to open up into the left hips. It doesn't matter here if your left leg, it's not really open up that yet. We'll take it, we'll go from there slowly. Now bend your left knee, open up. And from here, we're just going to move both hands towards to the right side of the mat. Just to get a bit of a side body stretch here. Breathe in, open. Maybe look underneath your left arms. And look up towards to the sky. Okay, and from here, extend your left leg. Trying to flip and bring your left hip down to keep the hip square. Now the hands stay the same here. You can bend your right leg slightly. Flex your left feet. And from here, hip square. So if you don't know, if your left hip is square, look towards to the left foot. If all the 5 toes are pointing down towards to the floor, that means your hip is square. If not, that means your hips are kind of like open up. Which is not wrong, but this one we just want to get the strength. We want to keep the hip square. And then you're going to place the left foot down behind the right leg here. Now, trying to get the little toes here together. Cross the legs. You can bend your knees. But in case, try to get the legs straight and find something to support. Squeeze your inner thighs. Try to keep the back long and full down. Shift forward from the heels to 10 toes. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we're going to come up. This time, place your hand or step your both feet back here into plank positions. Come down, chaturanga or the knee shin. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Open up into the chest. Draw your upper arms in towards to the side ribs. And on the exhale, curl your toes. Downward facing dog. Press the palms. Maybe lift the heels a few more times here. Now we're going to go on the left side. So inhale, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, open up into the hip. Soften the left shoulder down a bit. Press the inner palms, squeeze your glutes, press the right thigh, back, really engaging into the right leg here, and start to make a small circle. We do both directions anyway, so that's one. You can start with a small first and get bigger. 2, open up. Feel those hip mobility. 3, 4, 5. Now the other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now let's step the left foot forward between the hands. Drop the right knee on the floor. And from here, we're going to bring your hands here on the waist. Now again, we want to keep the hip square. Push the right hip forward. Drag the left hip back. Hands are here. Tuck the tailbone down. Lift the pubic bone up. Make sure that your left knee and toes are pointing into the same directions. Now we're going to get down and low. Chest want to go forward, but then we're going to lift the chest up and back. We're not trying to go into the back bend here, but just keeping the back straight, nice and tall. We want to open up this part. The hip flexors, you want to push down and forward. Chest up. Breathe in here. Really squaring into the hips. 1, 2, 3. Really squeeze the right glutes to help you open up the front part here. 4 and 5. Okay, now started to straight your left leg here. You're going to tuck the toes for the support. Straight the left leg. Pull the left hip back. Push the right hip forward. Maybe lift up the front foot. You can bend your left knee here or use the block just like the other side. Squeeze your inner thighs. Take a deep, big breath. Lengthen up into the back. Press into the heels. I like to think of arching the back, so sometimes that makes my back getting more straight, but it doesn't mean that I'm actually arching it. I'm just exaggerating it. So we're going to flex. Deep, big breath. Exhale, kind of fall down. One more time, just to get comfortable with it. And then bring your right hand on the left shoulder. Draw your right elbow here towards the left big toe. So this will help you elongate the spine. 1, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, drop your right hand down. Now bend your left knee again. Step both feet. Step the right leg up. Open up into the standing split. And now you can bend your left knee. Try to send the belly towards your left thighs and open up into that right hip. Feel free to bend your right knee. Open up into the maximum that you can. And then slowly move both hands towards the left side. Open up into the right side of the body. Maybe you can feel that all the side body, all the right ribs. Maybe look underneath or look up. Breathe in. And then exhale. Extend the leg. Before we put our feet down, we're going to bring your hands back towards the front. Keep the hips square. Again, draw the right hip down. Now look towards your right toes. Are they pointing into the floor? So if yes, that means you're getting your hips square here. Squeeze your inner thighs. Activate into the legs. Maybe draw the shoulder a little bit away from the ears so that you can keep your back long here. Hold. Legs really super strong. And then from here, you're going to place your right foot here behind the left. Try to get the pinky toe together. Feel free to use the block here or something to support. If you cannot reach your hands down yet, inhale. Find a straight back. Exhale, shift forward like you want to collapse your face. Suck the belly in and press the thighs towards press the belly towards your thighs and thighs. Press the belly here. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathe. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, we're gonna come up, bring both feet to the back of the mat, step back into downward facing dog. Press the hand all the way back. You can bend your knees a few times here. And then from here, you're gonna inhale, lift the right leg up again, bend the knee, open up into the hips. And on the exhale, step your right foot forward and down. This time we're gonna go a little deeper. Bring your right hands inside. We're gonna drop the left knee first. And from here, you can, and this really important, you don't want to rush, so you want to just go step by step. If you feel that this is already make you feel way too much, then maybe back off a bit, or just stay where you are. Maybe you can go further. Then place your elbow down, both elbows. If you feel like this is too mild for you, you can have a block and have the feet on top of the block. You can use 2 blocks or 3 blocks. It depends on your flexibility. So just going to come down here. Remember, this is just an optional. If you don't feel great, bring it out, get it out. And from here, just hold. Another option is you can lift the back foot up. The back knee. And just hold. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're gonna come up, press your hands down, move your foot here into the midline. We're gonna tuck the toes, lift your back knee off the ground, and reach the arms up here into the Crescent Lunge. I really love this pose. So tuck the back toes, squeeze your hip. This is very important. You want to think about squeezing your hip bones towards one another. Squeeze your inner thighs, shift forward and down. Bend your left knee a bit so that your spines are nice and tall. Tuck the tailbone, and from here, don't move anything. Straight your left leg. Again, bend and extend. Good. Bend, extend. Good job. And from here, you're going to straighten the legs. Bring your hands down. Again, blocks are here for the options. You can hop the back foot just a slightly forward. Bend your right knee a bit first. Try to get the belly towards your thighs. Maybe lift the front foot up. Deep, big breath. And from here, full down. Inhale. Now I have some little challenge for you. You're going to place your heels and you're going to try to lift your one hand up at a time. And find the balance. Keep the hips square. And if you feel strong enough, you're going to lift both. And try to hold. Get your hamstring working on. And then place your hands down. And then from here, slide your left toes back. We're going to come up into we call it an active standing split. Active splits. So instead of we're trying to get down to the ground and let everything collapse into the passive stretching, we're going to come up into a very wide crescent lunge. So take it step by step. So if you feel like this is already too much for you, this is your level 1 and you're staying here. So if 100%, this should be about 60% of your maximum. Okay, so now from here, you're going to bend your left leg. Maybe slide your right foot a little forward. And from here, try to straighten your right leg. Squeeze. Look at my hip direction. I'm squeezing them in. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. And from here, you can lift the front foot up and try to hold. And count down. All right, we're going to drop the left knee down first. Straighten the right leg a bit. Take a deep, big breath. And then the second one, we will do pretty much the same, but we might make it a little wider. So this would be your 80-90%, depends. So feel free to just pause the video or any of this feel discomfort, because we don't want to tear the hamstring down and we don't want to just keep pulling it down either. So because that could tear up a lot of tendons or the joints, and maybe not a good idea, right? So come up, this would build up the strength and gain the flexibility at the same time. So you want to start it to maybe 70-80% this time. So I'm going to go for about my 80 or something. All right, from here, I'm going to just lift and hold and squeeze your glutes and everything in line. And we're going to bring the hands down. Well done. Now from here, I think your joints and everything are warm ready. So we're going to go into little passive ones. So you can have a block or just anything to support. Now, in this directions, we want to get the hip square again. We don't want to go and like that where, you know, the hips kind of flare out and open. So it doesn't matter if you cannot bring your sit bone on the ground just yet. Just take your time, shift forward. I like to keep my left foot here tucked because then I know that my hip is square, because when it started to go like this, that means my knees are flaying out to the other side. So we're going to come from here, tuck the toes, trying to keep this locked. Maybe you can start from the highest block first and go down and go down. And then I like to have my left hip down first, and I can bend my right knee here a bit, and I can working on slide my right hips, my right heel forward and down. Okay, so we're gonna go down slowly and then hold, try to get the hips square, keep the back long, and don't go too fast into this. And then we're gonna come up, step back here, and then just go a little bit into a quick shower pose, or just coming, kind of move the hip to the left and to the right here. And then, all right, now we're gonna go for another side, but feel free to, let's go and down and come down into shower pose a bit. Sink your hip back towards the heels. Walk the hands forward. And then from here, slowly make our way up. And let's do another side. So we're going to come back into downward facing dog. And lift the left leg, bend the knee, open up into the hips. Keep the left shoulder square a bit. And then from here, exhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. Drop the right knee on the floor. Bring your left hands inside. We're going to go for the deeper on this side. So again, feel free to use the block to support underneath the feet if you want to go, of course, a little more intense. And we'll drop the forearm down. Lift up the back knee. Press the feet. Squeeze the glutes. 1, 2. Kind of move into the left, into the right a bit. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, place your right knee down first. Come up for the crescent lunge. And from here, left feet in the middle. Tuck your toes. Reach the arms over the head. Deep, big breath. And again, squeeze your hip in line. Draw the right hip forward, left hip back. Bend your right knee. Maybe this side you can see a little more difference. So you're going to bend your right knee. Try to keep the tailbone down. Lift the pubic bone up so your back is completely straight line with the legs. Now from here, we're not going to move anything. Squeeze your glutes and straight the right leg. Lock everything so you can feel that this right front hip is good and up into the opening. Again, bend your knees, sink down maybe, and straight them. Ooh. And then from here, you're going to extend both legs, maybe hop the right foot a bit forward. Place your palms. You can keep the right foot about 45 degrees. You can bend your left knee or keep it straight. Lift the left front foot up. And from here, again, hip square. And then you can slide your right hands back, and maybe only if it feels comfortable, lift the hands a bit. And maybe a little challenge here, testing your hamstring strength. Keep drawing the chest forward, hold, and then come down. You don't need to lift the hands, because if you cannot find the balance, it could be a little ankle twist. Okay, so have your feet down here. Now, we're gonna slide your right toes back again. Come up for the active splits, kind of crescent lunge. So, first attempt, you want to keep it about 60 degrees just to try it first. So maybe stay right here for crescent, and then slowly straight the right leg and lift and find the balance. Squeeze everything in line and hold. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's place your hands out first. You can rest the knee a bit. And the second attempt, you can go for 80, 90. Depends when you build it up. You can watch this video over and over, and you can build it up. No rush. All right, second attempt. You can slide it back. Hip square. And when you feel ready, lift up. I like to challenge myself a bit. Hold. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come down. Drop the right knee. And from here we can go for some almost into passive ones. I like to use the block. Keep this square and down. Don't let it flare out and go like this. It's not really pretty and not really good for your hip. Now, tuck your toes. Keep this down, and then from there you can work on get your hip flexor to open first, and when it's going down, then you can straight your left leg later into here. And from there, hold. 3, 2, pull the ribs in. 1. Okay, come out of it slowly. Maybe kind of swing the hip a little bit to the left, to the right, and then move it. Sink the hip down and back. Just a little bit of bring the big toes together to the front. Sink down into a little low chair. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, both hands down. Open up the feet 45 degrees to deep squat, malasana. Use your elbow to push the knees pushing the elbows. And then we're gonna go into the little counter pose. So you're gonna bring your left leg under, right leg on top, trying to get the right hip down on the floor. Maybe use a block or the cushion if you don't feel comfortable in these positions, or if set up the block, bring your block underneath the right foot to support. Or you can come into this, squeeze your inner thighs, keep the back nice and long. Exhale, fall down. Again, your tailbone want to lift, so kind of press the whole tail, kind of get the tailbone and the sit bone down first. Shift forward. If you can, walk the hands even forward. Relax your neck. Just try to notice and observe how is your hip at the moment. And then we will switch up to another side. A really fun way to switching, lift and roll. I've seen this people doing this one a lot, so I kind of think that is quite fun. All right, if you cannot, just kind of switching up the legs. Now the other side, so you might notice that one side is better than the other, that is very common for most of the people, which is okay. So it just gives us awareness of where do we need to work on. All right, now from here, squeeze your inner thighs a bit and get the sit bone down. Maybe walk the hands forward or just keep it there. You can drop your shin. Breathe in. Last breath. And then just come up. Alright, now from here, just uncross the leg, release them out, kind of roll and windshield your legs here side to side. Extend them, raise the arms over the head. Exhale, trying to get the belly towards your thighs, a little bit on the hamstrings. Exhale, fall down. Draw the shoulders a bit back from the ears, trying your best to relax your neck. And then we're going to come out and up. You can point and flex the foot a bit, draw the shoulder up, back, and down. And that will be all for the flow into the splits. So hope you like the video, and hopefully you don't rush and get into it. So thank you so much for joining me. So feel free to comment below what kind of video you like me to do. And thank you. Have a nice day. Namaste.